and we're only a few days after that, and I just want to explain that the Scots, we haven't always been fighting the English. Okay? People don't believe me when I say this, but it's true. We're not always fighting the English. In fact, just over 10 years before the battle that happens down there, Scotland was a very different place to the Scotland it is today in 1297. Now, at that time our king was Alexander III. He was a very fine king. Under his rule, Scotland was at peace, and we actually prospered with England. Now, a big reason for that was that our king Alexander III was married to Queen Margaret, who just so happened to be the King of England's sister. Okay? So Queen Margaret was Edward Longshanks, the King of England's sister. So Alexander and Edward, well, they were friends, brothers-in-law. And it starts to go wrong for Scotland when she dies. Queen Margaret, sorry, this is a sad story.
Okay.
Sorry, I have to warn you, really. It's a sad story because Queen Margaret dies, but she's really just a young woman when she dies. Then both of their sons died, then Alexander goes and dies too. He died in an accident, I know, did you hear? Did you hear he fell off his horse? Okay, doesn't sound very dramatic, does it? No, his horse was on top of a cliff at the time, and it was in the middle of the night. So it was dark, and it was in the middle of a terrible storm, and when he fell to his death, his body was found the next morning. They found he was only 1 mile from home. That's tragic, isn't it? 1 mile from being safely tucked up in your bed, and instead you're found dead on the rocks. That is tragic, isn't it?
It is.
More tragic for Scotland in a way was he died without a male heir. That was an important thing. His sons had died, remember, so there was no male heir. So that was it. That was the last of that ancient line of Scottish kings finished. That was it, gone. He had one surviving heir, and that was his granddaughter. Now, she was a wee girl. She was just a wee tot. Full of giggles and laughs like this one, I'm sure. Aye. She was another Margaret. In fact, she was Margaret the Maid of Norway. Okay? So she wasn't here, was she? She was in
Norway.
Good, thank you. I'm just checking you've not got bored with me, that's all. But she was in Norway now. I know that you guys will understand. It's a dangerous thing, isn't it? Dangerous time for a country to have an empty throne. Isn't it? You're very weak politically, you're weak. Vulnerable. So our nobles, the King of England and Eric of Norway, they all agreed the best thing for Scotland was to bring the wee girl here. Bring her here where she could be looked after. Raised in Scotland, and when old enough, she would go on and take the throne for herself. And that is really what happened, in a way. You see, when she's 8 years old, she's put in a boat to come to Scotland. I don't know how to break this to you. She takes her on the journey and she dies too.
Oh no.
Can you believe it?
Oh, no.
I mean, this is really bad luck, isn't it?
Scotland.
Exactly, Scottish luck. You couldn't make it up, could you? And it is sad, this wee girl coming to be queen, and she takes ill on the journey and dies when the ship's tied up in the harbour at Orkney. Doesn't even make it to mainland Scotland. So now, well, what do we do? We've been waiting for her for years to come. Scotland needs a king now, fast. So now they decide these are exceptional circumstances, you know, with all these royal deaths. So they decide that now any nobleman that's someone of royal blood, they could now lay claim to the throne of Scotland, and 13 claimants came forward. So that's 13 folk all wanting to be king. Are they going to agree? Not a hope, is there? No chance. So to stop any fighting, our nobles invite the King of England to judge who'd be the best King of Scotland. How does that sound? Eh? I'm with you, it sounds insane to me, but no, our nobles, they thought that they knew better. They thought that because the English king had been our old king's friend and brother-in-law, that at the very least he was going to be fair. Aye, right, fair. Who does he choose? The weakest one. Robert the Bruce was one of the 13, he'd have made a fine king. English king doesn't choose him though. He chooses John Balliol. Well, everyone knew Balliol was the weakest out of the 13. Why would the English king choose him? Well, was it because he wanted a weak king in Scotland, do you think? In fact, he wanted a puppet king. Somebody that would do as they were told. Somebody that might just hand over to England Scotland's land and wealth on a silver platter. But Balliol wasn't as weak as Edward hoped. In fact, Balliol, he starts to revive Scotland's old alliance You know about the old alliance? It's between the Scots and the French. Now the English king never got along with the French. I don't understand why, don't ask me to explain it to you. But he didn't like them. He comes along, he commands our king to raise a Scottish army to fight for England against the French, and Balliol, remember he was the weak one? But he refuses. He says no to the King of England.
Trouble.
Can you imagine? Well, the English king doesn't like being refused, does he? So to teach the Scots a lesson, he sends his army north, attack the Scots and slaughter 8,000 Scots. That's a lot of people, isn't it? 8,000 Scots wiped out at Berwick, and this is no battle. This is no battle. This is a massacre of innocent people in the streets of Berwick, a bloodbath. In response to this, Balliol does now raise a Scottish army. Of course he does. But it's to fight the English, not the French. Only we're defeated, our army's beaten at Dunbar. I'm sure you can guess what happens now to Balliol. Well, he's stripped of his crown, he's exiled, he's imprisoned. And I understand why that would happen, I get that. What I can't get my head round is why, after this defeat, 2,000 of our nobles and clergy bow surrender and pledge allegiance to the King of England. How about that? So just so that you're clear, it's our own people doing that. So now there's no one on the throne again, but things are worse. Because now we're ruled by an English king. And he has sent English soldiers and magistrates to every town and village throughout Scotland to enforce English laws on Scottish people. And English taxes too. Does it sound fair? Is it fair?
Yeah.
It's not, is it? It's not just me, is it? It is? No. See, this is what Scotland was like up till a year before the victory we had over the English army at the foot of that hill. Now, in that year, though, someone came along that would turn Scotland's fortunes round now. You think that's a big enough clue for you? Is it? A year before the battle, though, no one had heard of William Wallace. Everyone has heard of him now. You have, haven't you? Yeah. Ah, of course you have. See, William was born in a wee village in the west of Scotland called Elderslie. He was the second of 3 sons. Now, that doesn't sound that interesting. I know that. It's not, is it? But it does let us know that William, he knew he was unlikely to inherit anything, you see, being the second son. And so he knew he was going to have to work hard for a living, make his own way in the world. And William was studying and training hard to become a priest. A priest. Can you imagine that? William Wallace is a priest. Do you think he would be a good priest? Yeah? I'm not sure, but I wouldn't have said it to his face. Now, William was a man with a quick and violent temper, you see, and he was always getting into trouble with the English soldiers that were persecuting his fellow countrymen. I'm sure his heart was in the right place, mind, but that's how it went. And he gathered like-minded people around him, and they started attacking the English convoys on their supply routes, not in big battles, of course, because William was smart enough to know he'd be easily beaten if they tried to fight in a battle. He didn't have that many supporters then, you see. Clever man, William Wallace. And he made himself a real nuisance to the King of England, so much so, Edward Longshanks, the English king, declares William Wallace outlaw. They wanted him arrested now. Well, listen, they knew that William was hiding at his father-in-law's house in Lanark. So they send the sheriff of Lanark, who's called Heselrigg, along to the house. He's got his soldiers with him, and they set the house on fire. Okay, they set the house on fire because they're trying to burn William Wallace out. They think he's in the house, but he's not, he's gone. But his wife, Marion, she is in the house. She runs from the fire. Heselrigg ordered his soldiers to have her grabbed, thrown back into the burning house. She dies in the fire. It'd be horrible, wouldn't it? So when William Wallace hears this news, he is now in a rage. He takes 30 men, only 30. He marches up to the English garrison at Lanark in broad daylight, boards up the English soldiers in their barracks, and you can guess what's coming. Eh? He sets them on fire, doesn't he? He then hunts down Heselrigg, the sheriff, and drags him to the centre of the town, and he kills him. There's no doubt about this. I mean, William Wallace does this in front of an assembled group of people at Lanark. So they all know he's done it. But of course he's killed Heselrigg because of what Heselrigg's done to his wife. But now to the English, William Wallace is nothing but a murdering, treacherous Scot, isn't he? See, I think that's strange. Because to us Scots, William Wallace is a hero. I think it's two sides of the same coin, isn't it, really? It's funny how that happens, I think. And William continued attacking the English garrisons throughout Scotland, the north of England too. They'd carry out raids, they'd steal the English of their weapons and armour. And the people of Scotland were not happy. It wasn't just here, not in just this part of Scotland, it was right through. In the far north, though, the people there followed Andrew de Murray. You might have heard of him, and he's an important man. In fact, he was one of the last loyal nobles in Scotland. Now, he'd gathered a huge fighting force and was marching to Dundee. Scrymgeour and his men of the east, they held Dundee under siege. They had it surrounded, trying to free it from the English control. I'd marched with William Wallace and his men up to Dundee too, to join in with the siege. We weren't there that long though, when a messenger reached us to tell us that the English king, still Edward Longshanks, he was sending his army north to put an end to the Scottish rebellion. So Wallace and de Murray, they conferred and agreed that they would join their forces together. They would leave Scrymgeour and his men in charge of the siege of Dundee, and that we would join our forces and march here to this hill. The one that you sit on, it's called the Abbey Craig in Stirling. Okay? Here we would prepare to face the English army in a mighty battle for our freedom. It was the Battle of Stirling Bridge and Scotland won! Hooray! If only it had been that easy, mate. No, excuse me. Oh, excuse me. English, come ahead. Oh, come ahead, come on.
I don't want to fight with you, son.
Oh, come on.
No, I don't.
I'm ready for you. Come on.
I've had enough.
Come on. What's wrong with you?
I've had enough. I'm lost. I'm tired. I'm hungry.
Right.
I just want to get home, that's all.
Well, that's just maybe, but we Scots have no reason to trust you English any longer. So come on, you explain yourself. What are you doing up here in the Abbey Craig?
Oh, is that right?
Aye, it is.
I've been hiding up here since battle. I'm not staying up here and starved to death, no. I heard voices. I've decided to show myself and throw myself on your mercy.
Let me get this right. You're telling me you fought in the battle, but you left.
I'm standing here, ain't I?
Nah, I thought you English were all dead.
I don't understand anything you say.
Addy? Aye.
What does that mean? Oh, is it me? Listen, is it something like we're all dead?
You've got
I've got it now. Well, I'm not Addy.
I can see that, can't I?
But I know of those that crossed that little bridge and still live. For when I was struck down in the battle, I just stayed down, so Scots would think I were dead.
You're after one, aren't you?
I'm all that one.
Aye.
No worth the watching me.
Oh, well, what
Anyway, after the battle, the Scots sent men down to collect weapons and armour and stuff. Well, they've taken me helmet and taken me sword. They didn't realise I still breathe though. They didn't find this little lad either, did they? No.
Aye, okay.
Oh. I'm not one to fight you. No, I told you at the beginning. Listen, I didn't ask to come to this place. I was forced, conscripted into the army of the Earl of Surrey. We'll march north, bring down Scottish uprising. Well, it looks like we failed, don't
Oh,
we?
you failed all right.
King's not going to be best pleased.
I'm sure he won't be, but it's a great victory for the Scots. Hooray!
Yay!
You watch yourself. Listen, it was a great day in our struggle to free our land from Edward's rule. Like for too long, Scotland's been ruled by England's laws. Aye, with Edward's soldiers and magistrates policing us in our own country. But now the people of Scotland have rallied to Wallace and de Murray. We've got an army again too, but it's different to yours. You see, we're not conscripted to fight battles we care nothing about. We fight for one common cause. Freedom! Aye, freedom. And we believe we can win it. Laugh all you like, but we will.
I will laugh all I like.
Well, we'll win it.
Dear
all right.
old man, freedom, listen to yourself.
Aye.
Freedom. Do you know the trouble with you?
Oh,
You know the trouble with Scots?
Please do tell.
You want to be more like the Welsh and the Irish, you know. Just know your blooming place. What's wrong with you?
You should do well to control that tongue of yours, Englishman.
How's that?
And we want you to pretend to be dead ever again.
What about this Wallace?
Oh, no.
He's just an outlaw.
He is not.
Traitor against the
He's
proper.
not.
He's a traitor against proper king. But he seems to command support up here. Support amongst all ignorant peasant rabble. Rabble, I said. But the men who attacked us, they weren't rabble. You Scots have got a well-trained army, brave men.
Aye.
Why choose then to follow this outlaw Wallace?
He's only an outlaw to you English. Like to us Scots, William Wallace is a hero and a great leader. He was brave enough to fight back against the English soldiers being in our country when no one else would. He brought new hope to these dark times. Aye, the hope we could live in our own country as free people once more. But I don't suppose it's your fault, is it? I mean, look at you, you're a common soldier, aren't you?
What's wrong with that?
Nothing. So I'm saying it's not your fault if all you've been told about William Wallace is he's some kind of an outlaw. And I'm afraid you've been misled.
Oh, misled have I been, have I? Listen, I've been misled about a lot of things, son.
I can believe it.
Aye. Anyway, listen, we were told to come to Scotland to bring down this uprising. I'd never been to Scotland before, but lads did say, oh, you're not like Scotland. We'll have to fight under blazing Scottish suns.
Aye, very good.
What are all that about?
Aye.
Then they said, it don't matter about the weather, don't worry about that, because you won't have to fight anyway.
Why would you not have to fight?
Well, when you're basic, when you're miserable with those Scottish army, so might of Royal England, as you would run back up to them highlands where you belong with all them blooming sheep.
You thought we were going to take a look at you lot and we would just run away.
Like rabbits.
Like rabbits. Really.
When we crossed that little bridge, we came on this thing that was like a marshland. We're all wet, and horses all got stuck in the mud, and so did we. Floundering about in our armour. And the Scots ran, but they didn't run away. No, they ran straight down towards us, didn't they? Screaming their blooming heads off. Here, I've never seen out like it, man. They struck fear in the heart of bravest man. Which is not me. Anyway, it's got so ferocious. Let's try to run back to the bridge, but there's people coming over. It's only a small bridge. It starts to sway like old flap. What are you laughing at? then Scots have fired burning arrows into it. Well, it's soon ablaze, isn't it? We know then it's all over. Buckle's going to... We're all going to die. Bargain with you.
What do you mean that? Bargain? You sure it's not right?
No, bargain.
Right.
Sometimes do that before actual fighting, as they say, that it avoids unnecessary bloodshed and slaughter and what have you. But it didn't matter anyway, because Wallace just laughed in their faces. Laughed in the faces of our priests.
Oh, he said aye. We gave them a message too, to take back to the early sun. Wallace said this. He said he hadn't come here to talk or to be bored, he'd come here to free this country. And I know we were outnumbered and we'd rather die than if we didn't live any longer on our knees. He spoke for all of us already. That's how we all felt about the English soldiers being in our country.
And so we set off across that little bridge to the inevitable destruction that awaited us.
Aye, you're right. Many good men died in the battle, and you English, your army. Aye, your army fought bravely. There are too many brave Scottish warriors dying too. They're badly wounded like Andrew the warrior. It's thanks to them victory is ours. So I'm sorry, we can't stop. We'd rather land of every English soldier that's here in our country, but our nobles appointed Wallace and the money joined the army into Scotland. He really wants to survive these rings, but if he dies, all of Scots ready to rally to Wallace and Flint. So we're going to keep fighting until we win Scotland back from her people. Your king is right. You're right what you said about her. It won't be a happy boy. He's going to send another army, isn't he?
Of course he'll send another army. He's not going to let this go unanswered.
No.
And you, and your Scottish people, you best look to your defences. Because you have not seen the crew. Oh, Billy,
You're gonna need it. Go quickly before I change my mind.
Go.
Aye.
Well, you would let me go.
Every man's entitled to his freedom.
Well. I'll go. Just one more thing anyway.
What is it?
How do you get off this blooming hill? You're not here for 2 days. I don't know north and south. I don't know this place.
Follow the path that'll lead you out of the woods. Into open countryside. If you're prepared to take your chances there. Well, then God be with you. You remember it, don't come back here. Second chance for you.
Don't you concern yourself about that, lad?
Aye. Well, you think so, do you? I think we'll see you very soon. You're away the wrong way. Said the path.
Right. You want me to see me against Scotsman, you can be sure of that. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ian Watner. Hope that was informative and somewhat amusing. What Ian's going to do is he's going to go, oh, I better tell you what happened. Wallace won at this battle, but the following year, on the 22nd of July, he lost a battle at Falkirk, 15 miles south of here, when the nobles of Scotland betrayed him. He ruled for 7 years. He was executed in 1305. Now Ian's going to get a bigger sword. This is alright for a sword, but it's not the kind of sword. Ian's going to get one who I'd have a long sword. What he's going to get is one that only Wallace Monument. Yes. Above the monument. So if anyone wants to photograph with the sword, swords, you're more than welcome.